Good afternoon everyone, and now I'll be teaching you class 8 mathematics, and I'll be continuing from what we have left in the classroom, that is square roots. And since we have done how to find square roots by prime factorization method in the classroom, so today we'll be doing finding the square root by long division method. So we'll be finding the square root by long division method. So you all turn to your page number 52, and this is chapter 3, and we will be doing exercise 3B, question number 1, sub-question 1. The first question given here is 3, 2, 4, 9. Now how do we find the square root of this number? By long division method. So what do we have to do is, we have to make two columns and put the number between them. Since this is square roots, so we'll group them into numbers. We'll group them into 2. So 49 forms a pair, and we start from the right hand side. So 49 forms a pair, 32 forms a pair. So first number that we're gonna deal with is 32. So a number which is closer to 32. So this is like division only, but this is division for the square roots. So, and we cannot just divide it with like 5 into 6, 30. This would be wrong. So what you have to do is, if you are multiplying 5, if you have taken the number 5, then you have to multiply it with 500. You cannot take it with any other number. If you are multiplying it with 6, then you have to take the other number as 6. So which number would be closer to 32? For example, 2 into 2, 4. It's way too smaller than 32. You cannot take 3 into 3, you cannot take 4 into 4. So which number comes closer? Either 5 into 5 or 6 into 6. Now 5 into 5 is 25, which is smaller than 32. 6 into 6 is 36, which is greater than 32. And you know that we cannot take a greater number when we are doing the division. So we take 5. Since we are writing 5, so we multiply it with 5. As I told you, you cannot take any other number other than 5. So 5 into 5 is 25. So when you divide 32 and 25, now what you have to do, as you know, you have to subtract them. So you get 7. Generally in division, only one digit comes down. But here, since you are doing square roots, the group comes down. That means both 49 comes down. You cannot just bring 4 alone. It has to be 49. Now what you do on the other side is, here, whatever number you multiply, you have to add the same number. So what do you get here? 10. Now you have 10 over here. What should you do is, you have to again further multiply, because we need to reduce this 749 to 0. So what should you multiply over here with? And whatever you write here, you have to write the same number here. For example, if you write 7, you have to write 7 here. And this 107 has to be multiplied only with 7, not with 5. This 107, this whole number has to be multiplied with 7. So let's do the rough. 107 multiplied with 7. When we take 7, what do we get the answer to be? 749. So we write down 749 and the remainder is 0. Now since the remainder what is the square root of 3249? It is 57. Okay, I'll be doing two more sums so that you people can understand it more properly if you have not understood in the first sum. So I'll be doing two more sums for you people. So just see here once. When the number, first count the number of digits, as I told you, even. So group them, you group them. Now, after you group them, you take the first group and then you multiply with the same number. 5 and 5. So I've taken 5, 5 into 5, 25. When you subtract 32 and 25, you get 7. And the next number that remains is 4 and 9. As I told you, you cannot bring 4 alone, you have to bring 49 as a group because this is square root, square. So it has to be dealt with two numbers. So 749. And whatever number you multiply, you have to add the same number. So you get 5 plus 5, 10. And then when you multiply with 7, you get it as 749. So if you are confused with this sum, I'll be doing a few more sums. The next sum that I'm going to do is number 5, which has odd number of digits. The first number was 3249 and here the number of digits were even. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number of digits are odd. So we do the same. Make column and then group them. Now when you grouping them, 25 forms one group, 56 forms one group, 7 is left alone. Since 7 is left alone, you will first simplify 7. Now which number when you multiply is closer to 7? You can take 1 into 1. 1 into 1 is 1, which is way too smaller than 7. 2 into 2, 4, which is again smaller than 7. 3 into 3, 9, which is greater than 7. Which means you cannot take a greater number. So you will take 2. So 2 into 2 is 4. And when you subtract 7 and 4, what do you get? 3. Now, what comes down? Will only 5 come down? No. Both 56 will come down, as we said that we are dealing with square root, so it deals with two numbers. So 56 come down. Now what do you have to do over here? You have to add the same number. What is the number here? 2. So you add with the same number. 2 plus 2, 4. Now what do you have to do? You have to write a number here such that that number when multiplies, it gets a number closer to 356. For example, if I write 1. If I write 1 here, I have to write 1 here. So 1 multiplied with 41 will be 41, which is way too smaller than 356. So we cannot take 1. So we'll take another number. A number which is greater than that. Let's try with 7. So if I'm writing 7 here, you need to write 7 here as well. And what you have to do is this 7 multiplies with 47. So we'll do the rough. Multiply 7 with 47. So we get 390. But we might not know that there is a greater number than 7, 8. So if we write 8 here, we might get a number which is closer to 356 or greater than that. So let's just try once. So if I write 8 here, I need to write 8 here as well. And I will multiply 48 with 8. Okay, so when you multiply 48 with 8, you get 384, and when you multiply 48 when you multiply with 8, you get 384, and when you multiply with 7, you get 329. So we cannot take a number which is greater than this number, so we will take 7. So 16 minus 9 is 7, 4 minus 2 is 2, and this is 0. Now what remains? 2 and 5. And we cannot bring 2 alone, we have to bring 25. Now when we bring 25 down, what do we do over here? We add with the same number, that is 7. Since we have taken 7. Now, as always, you need to write a number here, and whatever you write here, you have to write with the same number here. So you can take any number, you can take 1, 2, 3, but what you have to remember is this number. The number that you take over here has to be smaller than 2725. So, say, I'm taking 4. So if I take 4 here, if I take 4, I have to multiply with 4. So 4 fours are 16. 16 plus 1, 17. So what do we get? 2176. Let's try with a bigger number. Say if I take 5. Instead of 4, if I take 5 here. So this 4 will again be changed to 5. And you know that we have to multiply this whole number with this 5. So 5 5s are 25, 5 4s are 20, so which means we need to take 5 instead of 4. And when we take 5, we get 2, 7, 2, 5, and the remainder will be 0. So what is the square root of 7, 5, 6, 2, 5? The answer will be 275. And please remember, you don't put the square root symbol in the answer. This is only for the question. Since we are finding the square root of 75625, you put the symbol of square root in the question, not over here the answer. Okay? And I'll be doing one more sum. And with that, we'll wrap up for today. The last sum that I'm doing is question number 9, which is given in mixed fraction. So first you have to convert this mixed fraction into improper fraction. So you know what to do. Okay, so when we multiply, we get this number as 18769 and the denominator remains the same. Now how do we find the square root of a fraction? What we have to do is, we have to find the square root of the numerator separately and the square root of the denominator separately. And whatever answer you get after finding the square root of the first number and the square root of the second number, put it accordingly. For example, if I am finding the square root of 18769, the square root of 18769 would be 137. And if I am finding the square root of 9216, the answer would be 96. Since here it contains both number with odd digits and the number with even digits, you can calculate for yourself how to find the square root. And if you still have further doubts, then my contact number would be given. You can contact me and you can inquire about it. And till the next class, stay safe, stay home, and stay happy.